What's going on, guys? Non-intellectual intellectuals here, back for episode 9. Today we're joined by Hunter,
What's going on, guys? Good to be back.
Josh,
Match in the gas tank. Boom, boom.
Robert.
Matty fucking Smokes here.
You can't just use
Yeah,
someone
dude.
else's intro from a previous week.
You can.
Oh shit.
Nah.
Yeah. True.
No, you
nah.
can.
A bit unoriginal.
So
I say so.
today it's actually just the four of us, unfortunately, or fortunately for whoever your favorite podcasters are. But I'd like to think we've got the intelligence here, and the other boys.
Ollie is the engineer.
He provides some input, mostly funny, which we were just talking about, which some of the listeners don't actually like, apparently.
We have a very divided fan base, just based on the feedback that I get week to week. My girlfriend doesn't like some of our content. But
You know what? We're
that's
just
okay.
too intellectual for some people.
I think the loss of Ryan and Oliver for this podcast, we can make up for it both in intellectuality.
That's not a fucking word, bro.
Intellectuality.
We can make up for it with intellectual and in terms of their retardation.
Right.
So if you're listening, boys, fuck you.
Yeah, not like they listen to this shit podcast anyway. But today we're going to be diving into the topic of what's been happening with George.
George Floyd.
It's it's pretty heavy stuff to dive into, I reckon, but we'll do our best to tackle it in a tasteful way and in a way that hopefully our listeners enjoy as well. Well, I'd just like to know, to start it off, what were your boys, I guess, initial thoughts about? Am I the only one here that's seen the footage?
No, I have.
I didn't
Yeah,
watch it. I can't bring myself to watch that shit.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that earlier, but so what, Robin and Hunter, what were your initial thoughts?
It's literally a snuff film, bro.
What,
Literally
like the shit-
recording somebody getting murdered, and I don't think
Yeah.
it's distasteful because you need the evidence. Like, people need to see this police brutality. Things are wrong in America, man.
Yeah.
And that being said, it's not every cop, but through history you see these recurring patterns,
You do, yeah.
which is so unfortunate. And it's not just America either. I know we like to hang it on America, but it happens in Australia. I'd say in a general sense, it might happen in every other country as well. But what were you thinking, Rob?
Honestly, it was just disgusted.
Yeah.
I was so confused initially when it was going around. I was just like, what is everyone talking about? I was like, because obviously you become kind of desensitized over time because you just like hear it every other day, which is really fucked.
You hear it every week on our podcast. Oh, fucking those Americans, tell you what.
Yeah, but yeah, it was just pretty, I guess, horrifying just to say, to witness that this is still happening in 2020.
Racism is fucking alive and well, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
it really is. But the thing that shocked me about all of this is that the first I heard of it was fucking like through memes. Like the first image I saw of what actually happened, it was a meme. I was just like, then I because of that I was like, oh, what is this? Like I look up the backstory and I was just like, holy fuck, like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up shit. Like, the fact that the cop was like a fucking obviously not fucking fully there. I don't know what would have to be wrong with you to do that.
15 times. I
What?
can't breathe
Yeah.
15
Oh,
times.
yeah.
Not just
You
that,
didn't-
9 minutes.
Not once, not twice,
Yeah.
15 times.
Just it's funny you say that, Nano, because I've actually got some information on this guy, and a bit of his past before leading into this incident. You boys might have heard. I'm not sure,
Nah,
but
I'm not sure about it.
it's fucking just from this. It's pretty clear that he's a fucking psychopath.
Go through them, like
But-
just 2 or 3 of them.
So apparently, this is something that's come out obviously since whole murder charges gone down. That him and George Floyd, yeah, that's the name. They worked both as security guards in the same nightclub together over the past year.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so in the past year, so I think what was it? I've forgotten. Oh, Derek Chauvin, that's the cop's name.
Yep.
Mm.
He was working part-time cop, part-time secchi.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, and then they were working in the same nightclub together. But this is what when the manager of the nightclub was contacted to give a statement, she said that fucking whenever there was a fight on the dance floor or a fight outside the fucking club, instead of intervening, this guy would just bring out mace and just spray the whole crowd.
The cop.
Yep.
Fucking hell. So evidently he's already a fucking retard.
Yeah. He's just a nutcase, bro.
That's fucked.
But yeah.
I have some more facts on this murderer piece
Please.
of shit.
Capital punishment.
That's a discussion for later.
We can get into that, but he's hired Tom Kelly to represent him, a lawyer pretty infamous in the States for getting other police officers out of murder charges. He was put on leave in 2011 for an inappropriate police shooting of a Native American.
Fuck.
Like more history of racism.
So he's killed someone before.
Yeah, he shot an
What, the same cop?
Yeah.
Shot an unarmed 21-year-old black man in 2011.
Shit.
Fucking hell.
16 bullets into a Latino man, just from his gun, as a total of 42 bullets into the same guy.
Oh my god.
12 police brutality charges have been filed against him.
So
in
how
that
are they kept
precinct.
on the force for this long? That's my question.
Because
America's
corrupt
corrupt.
as fuck.
It's the same as in episode 2, how they kind of move the priests around. They don't actually
Yeah, I
You
get
know.
Yeah.
get what they deserve. They're more just, the people are silenced, and it's kind of just moved around because the police department doesn't want this bad name. It's all about
Yeah.
reputation.
Which is a funny thing because police officers' jobs are literally to enforce the law, and when should be enforced on them, it's not happening how it should be.
Yeah,
So-
this technique that was used is not anything that was taught.
Yeah.
The leader of the police precinct has said the technique that was used is not even close to anything that was taught for a restraint technique. And
And
A
for
question that-
someone that didn't even need to be restrained, though.
yeah, literally, this was over a forged
Forgery.
check,
Which
an
it
alleged
wasn't.
forged
Yeah.
check.
So that hasn't been
Proven.
refuted or confirmed yet.
No,
Yeah.
it's been confirmed
That it was a
that it wasn't forgery.
fuck me.
So he was innocent.
Oh,
as fuck.
really?
It's just
Yeah.
so sad, bro. Like,
Yeah.
literally.
Have you seen what the guy's family and the friends? He's friends with, I don't know, an NBA. You may have said his name.
Steven Jackson's one of his good friends.
Yeah,
an
so he's
NBA
fr-
analyst and
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, they were like, he was like one of the nicest guys. He was literally security guard at a club, as like, I don't know, part time or whatever. And there were people where like when they would get sick at the club, he out of his own time would drive those people back home.
Yeah, so it's overall just
When
a
he
good
would,
bloke.
like, when he like finished work for the night and was like helping.
Or even on shift, I don't know, obviously, but yeah.
But it's funny you should bring that up, Hunter.
bring what up?
Hang on, I had it on my notes.
He
Oh,
just
okay.
lost
But yeah,
his
I was
train
gonna
of
say
thought.
though, do you guys believe that?
No, yeah, it's back.
Thanks, yeah.
Okay.
So it's funny you should bring up about all those other examples of clear brutality against
From
other,
this one guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
against other non-white races, whatever the race was,
Mhm.
because his wife is actually a Laos refugee.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
no shit.
So,
So
so it's all his resentment from his fucking shit marriage that he's just passing on to everyone else.
Or
That's
obviously,
it.
he's just such a human piece of shit that he has to mail order a bride.
Yeah.
Yeah, true that. too.
true, honestly, wouldn't be surprised.
Didn't
But-
think about that.
But yeah, I was gonna say, do you guys believe that it is to some extent, I guess, true, but that if this was to keep on going in America, that it would become like a proper like a police state?
Yeah. Did you see Donald Trump's most recent tweet that got, well, not his most recent tweet, but the one that got flagged by Twitter?
Which one was that?
I can read it out for you.
Is it the one about when the shooting starts? Yeah.
Yeah. These thugs are dishonoring the memory of George Floyd.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
won't let that happen. Just spoke to Governor Tim Walz and told him that the military is with him all the way. Any difficulty and we will assume control. But when the looting starts, the shooting starts.
What the
Thank you.
fuck?
Yeah. So
That's America's president.
yeah, but so did he delete it or did Twitter flag it?
Twitter flagged it. He
No,
just
it's
So-
still
didn't-
there. So they flagged it, but they're like, this still might be useful information for people.
But it
Yeah.
hasn't been deleted as
no,
of yet.
and Trump even filed a motion to have like politicians less restricted on these social media platforms since then.
But in response to all the outrage about this tweet, he said that he wasn't threatening to order the military to shoot on protesters. He was rather noting that the shootings had been part of the protest, which is bullshit.
Fuck
Yeah.
off.
Well, like from the way he says it, you can tell it's just like a clear fucking order. Like
Yeah.
he's stamping his authority.
What are you?
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts? What are you guys' thoughts on the protests?
Rightfully so. This has been happening in America for so long, and this corrupt government won't listen. Well, what else are you gonna do? You know,
Yeah,
you know,
Nah.
it's
Just
you know,
wait,
this-
mate.
you can draw the line like between the looting and rioting. You know, that affects other citizens, but when at the stage where it was just a peaceful protest, I think that was well more than justified.
The peaceful, yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
not peaceful anymore.
Yeah, I don't
Have-
agree
did
with
you,
property
Did you see the
damage or any of that.
video today of the police running people over?
Yeah, that
it's
shit was
fucked.
actually fucked. I don't know how, like, who in their right mind just fucking decides to launch a car into a crowd of fucking 1,000 people.
More corrupt
That's
cops.
just.
Yeah, so they're a police state. It's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
Yeah, what were you gonna say about the riots?
Yeah.
oh yeah, I don't think they'd I literally don't think that they're justified, right? Because like the peaceful one, sure, obviously that's well deserved that they should have a right to say no, this is not on. We need change. This is not okay. But and all it takes is one cunt from that original peaceful protest to be like, nah, fuck these guys and burn a cop car or some shit. And then more people get violent. It creates a flow-on effect, and fucking now all these other groups like white supremacists, fucking gangs, they're all just using it as an excuse to reign terror. Like it's not about Georgie Boy's death anymore. It's about fucking other groups using this for their gain. As with like the looting and the stealing and all that kind of thing.
But do you think this has been sparked by an isolated incident?
Probably not.
Because the history of police brutality in America runs so deep, so deep. This year alone, Breonna Taylor, you heard of that?
No.
Shot 8 times by police on a search warrant, and you go, well, you know that could have been justified. She could have, you know, attacked police, but the person they had the warrant for to arrest was already in police custody.
Yep.
So essentially, they broke into the wrong home and shot this lady for no reason.
That's fucked. Well, there was the more recent one, the one where he was just going for a jog.
Was that police?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh wait, no.
No, those are just American
that's true.
citizens
Those-
being fucking pigs.
Conservatives. I
Fucking
think they were.
racist.
That was Ahmaud Arbery.
Yeah, I believe so.
Was
yeah.
that the
Yeah.
one where they like came in a pickup truck and just stopped and
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Shot.
going
Yeah,
for
they're
a
like
jog.
some contractors or something.
But that is
A father and a
that's
son. Yeah.
3 deaths this year, unprovoked, probably racially.
Sparked.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure that you can do much to really help it, except for spread awareness and educate people.
Well, there's also
Because-
speaking to your like your politicians from your city or whatever it is.
Yeah, but that's not going to stop
It's not-
racism. It's until the
No,
peoples
yeah, but
whose
there's
minds are
implementation of
racist
things.
is changed. Is that's when the end of racism will
It-
happen.
It's past the point of it being about government anymore. Because for fucking how many generations now of Americans been trying to, you know, or protesting in whatever way possible to, you know, try to change the way black people or African Americans are treated in America. It's been going on for decades, the movement for change, and clearly it's fucking not enough has been done. So I think it's almost past the point of talking to governments now. So in that sense, probably the way they've reacted could be justified, but I still don't think it's the best way to go about it.
But there's actual studies where they've proven that, you know, peaceful, like there's obviously cons and pros to both of them, peaceful and non-peaceful. But they've literally said that non-peaceful kind of not riots, whatever they're called,
Protests.
protests, yeah, that's it. That they're a lot more effective. So obviously, if you have a protest, a really peaceful one, and that in theory should anyway help you out for your cause, where you can start going to
But
members.
the thing is though, it also could be a matter of the African American community being like, fuck it, we've peacefully protested before and change hasn't come about. So, and it's just internal anger. Like, imagine if you were being fucking discriminated like that. I wouldn't be peaceful about it,
Yeah.
especially after all this time and no change has actually happened.
Yeah, even the family are calling for the death penalty, which is I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
In a,
Hmm.
in
The
a
family
racial
of the
murder.
officer.
No, the family of the
The family of the officer.
Well,
No,
he is
can't.
a bad person. I'm sure his parents would disown him.
Not kill him though.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't want him dead, but the family of the victim
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually are calling for capital punishment, which is
it's crazy.
ridiculous. What are your guys' thoughts on capital
Yes.
punishment?
Circumstantially, yes.
Yeah, I
Mine's
think.
all together no, and we can go through each other. One at a time.
Well, I think like for unforgivable, heinous crimes. So I'm talking maybe not this kind of murder. I'm talking about maybe serial killers, torture, rape, pedophilia. I'll cut it off at those four. Fucking, we are paying taxpayers' money to have these people kept alive, safe, and healthy in prison. So over the fucking course of the rest of their life, they're spending behind bars. Can you imagine how much it's going to cost to detain that prisoner? And they've got no chance of ever having, a life back. So what's the fucking point of keeping them around? I think in that sense, capital punishment probably could be utilized.
Well, do you know how to get rid of? To decrease the amount of tax that goes into it. Do you know what the answer is? So you're going to have not as many people go to jail, and that's why they've proven that capital punishment doesn't even reduce like the fear in criminals to want to commit an act. So at that point,
No, but it's not.
your whole goal is to reduce the amount of people to go. No?
Yeah. But my point still stands, I think. But if there's people that are fucking gonna be in prison for life anyway, then just kill. Like, it's still gonna work out cheaper by enforcing capital punishment. Sure,
I've heard that it's very expensive.
Sure,
still.
probably crime rates aren't going to change by introducing the death penalty, but probably the amount we have to spend to fucking in like prison costs is probably going to be less.
Yeah,
So
but
given the two situations, you go, would you rather prison populations overflow, or would you rather like clearly guilty people get away free?
Sorry, what?
Sorry, I think those are the wrong two options.
I think
it's more like
I just think just kill them if it's inexcusable and if there's no logical reason for doing so. Especially if it's things like, I feel like this murder's almost worse than others because he was, for one, he's a police officer. He was meant to be enforcing the law. He
And
consciously
keeping people safe.
he consciously knew that cranking on his neck was causing him not to breathe because he repeated it 15 times. Yet he still persisted. Things like manslaughter, for example, when you don't even mean to do it, is obviously not. I don't think capital punishment should be enforced for that.
Nah, not at all.
But in this circumstance, 100%.
but
And
there-
when you look at his history as well, as Hunter was saying before, then I think it's probably justified too.
yeah,
Yeah.
for this one it's clear and easy, but with so many cases say where there's no video, where the facts are liquid, the wrongful conviction rate, and this coming back to racism for African Americans is so much higher
Yeah.
than for just any other American.
There'll be
as
so many
well.
more innocents dying at a larger rate if it was more widespread, if capital was.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's only
But that's the thing,
Problem,
like
I guess.
that and maybe not being that effective. I don't know if it's still worth it.
What do you mean? It is effective. You kill all the piece of shit peoples.
But that's not the goal though, obviously.
Yeah,
you
it
don't
is.
want
Bloody
people to
oath
be
it
piece
is.
of shit at all.
Did you
yeah,
guys see
okay.
Just Mercy with Michael B. Jordan last
No,
year
no.
or earlier this year?
I don't know what that is.
It's like a good movie though.
Yeah.
It's like this premise too.
I can't remember the number they put on it in there, but it was like almost 20% of African American death row inmates are wrongly accused.
Yeah, right.
That wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible.
It's because the justice system is so messed up. If you're poor, how are you gonna find good representation that's gonna like actively advocate for your cause?
So in Australia, I know if you can't afford a lawyer, the state assigns you one. Is that right, Hunter?
Yes.
Yeah. Does that happen in America,
Um,
or do you just have
I
to
feel like it
defend
doesn't.
yourself?
I feel like you have to source your own lawyer and pay for him.
yeah,
and
I
if
feel
you
I
can't
feel
do
there is
that, then
similar
you have to
similar
defend
schemes
yourself.
Yeah.
in America, but even the Australian system's flawed. You're only required by law to have a lawyer if you're convicted of an indictable offense. It's either an indictable offense or any offense that goes to the Supreme Court,
What's indictable mean?
like a serious offense.
Oh, okay.
So in the Australian system, there's magistrates, county. Well, in Victoria at least, there's magistrates, county, supreme, and then the High Court.
Yeah, bro. I learned that in year 10 humanities.
Yeah, nice. So
I don't remember it.
basically, if you're accused of a like a summary offense, which you go to the magistrate's court, speeding fine,
Yeah.
stuff like that, you're not required to have legal representation.
Yeah, well, they're only petty crimes. Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, but what if you're wrongfully accused and you have no
Oh,
knowledge
it's a
of
couple
the-
$100. You'll be right.
But that could be like people's whole livelihood. Like imagine a single mother with four children. and
yeah, I guess.
I've seen speeding fines up to $3,000.
But
Yeah.
putting lawyers into that bracket of crimes would probably like impact the, I guess, economy, because they don't have the money to invest for those level crimes, and obviously what they're paying as well isn't like, say, fines of like $100-$200.
Yeah.
That's not gonna suffice having to pay for a lawyer for those crimes.
Yeah, for sure. It all comes down to a money and funding problem. But yeah, it definitely makes it a lot harder if you're in that lower bracket
Oh, 100%.
to obtain good legal representation.
For sure.
But yeah, so we all, I guess, so you three all agree that kind of agree with it if it's like properly
capital
provable.
punishment. I guess that like the broad question really is: do you think people who did like unforgivable crimes should be killed? Not necessarily capital punishment as a method to actually work, but just the premise of, do you think they should die?
Do you think? Yeah. So what you're saying is, do you think?
If the system isn't flawed, then it's whatever.
Regardless of the system, just the
So what
just
you're
the
saying is
idea of
you're
pe-
considering the fucking opinion of people that are nothing is fucking like death is too much of a punishment for regardless of what you did. That's what you're considering.
Wait, say that again.
So you're considering the opinion of people that are just like, no, death is too much of a punishment, no matter what the crime was.
No. I'm just trying to ask, like in a general sense, do you think people who did these crimes should die?
But what
Yes.
crime?
Regardless of-
besides murders, like what do you consider? I guess that to that extent.
No, for example, murder.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Nothing's probably worse than murder. I don't know. But
Pedophilia is probably up there.
yeah, but then again, you can talk about mental disability. I don't know. It's a hard question to answer.
So let's just say if it's for murder and it's properly provable, like the system isn't flawed, I think I'd be fine with it.
But the system's never going to be
It's going to be flawed. So don't.
Yeah,
He's
so
saying in this situation.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
like
Capital punishment. Your opinions on it is no, because it can't work in our society.
Yeah.
my opinion. I'm
But-
of the opinion that yes, it can work, but for it to be brought back in, we're going to have to acknowledge that yes, there are going to be times where we're going to make a mistake, and someone that is innocent will be put to death. But I think
I
As
feel
long
I
as-
feel like that price to pay.
That's
Is
not
I know
100%
it's a lot,
outweighs.
but
It's
I
not worth
feel
it.
like it could almost be justified.
Nah,
If the pros outweigh the cons, then yeah.
they don't.
Ju-
Not on human life.
Plenty
no.
of judges around the world have literally said they'd rather 20 actually guilty people walk free from prison than one innocent person be put to death.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, true. Because then they've got to live with that, don't they?
Yeah.
To the judge. Yeah.
And it goes down, and it's easy to say, just in a random scenario, but like what
Mm.
if you were accused of a crime that you didn't actually do, and everyone was against you,
Yeah,
and
you won't be
got
saying
you got
yes
put
now.
to death.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the I mean, they didn't get death sentences, but this reminds me of the Central Park 5.
Oh yeah.
Do you know about
Yeah.
that story, Hunter? There was a documentary on Netflix about it. Maybe that
Yeah.
was relevant, maybe a year ago, and that was about 5 young black males, all between the age of like 14 to 16, that were just in Central Park at the time a rape happened.
Yeah.
So actually no, only 4 of them were in the park. Another one wasn't even there.
The one that spent the longest time in prison.
Yeah,
wasn't even
because he
there.
was chargeable as an adult because he was the only
What the
16-year-old.
fuck?
So he wasn't even in the park. The only reason he got done for it is because he accompanied his mate into the police office, for questioning, and he was just sitting in the waiting room, and they're like, "You come with us."
Yeah, and
That's
the police.
so
It's
fucking
because the police
retarded.
have an agenda. They need to fill out their statistics.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. But if you and Rob Tonino, definitely look it up. You don't obviously don't watch
Yeah.
the Netflix thing if you don't have time. When they see
Was
us,
it a
it's
doc or
called.
was it an actual show?
No, it was an actual show. When they see us.
I
But
think
it was
I,
like-
I looked at it
I
once.
saw, I saw
But it
stuff
was like,
about that.
yeah, it was very much based on what happens. If you don't want to watch that, definitely read into it because
Yeah.
it's interesting and very sad, and obviously another case of fucking
Violence,
this agenda
yeah.
against African
Oh,
Americans.
yeah.
So what do you guys think can actually be done to stop it?
To stop capital.
Just to not to stop
Just-
capital punishment.
to
To
stop
stop
wrongful accusations.
to stop
It's
racism.
Oh, it's,
Jeez, that took longer than.
That was something.
yeah.
I could have
Um,
just said racism. Like, make him guess.
Education, really. It comes from the top down. What are we teaching our kids?
Yeah.
What do our parents teach us? We just have to live without prejudice, and it's easy to say, harder to do for sure. But we're getting better. We're still not there, but we're getting better.
Well, have you guys seen it's some like some concept of some, I can't even explain it what it is, because what it really means is this, like, I don't know, some scientists, they were looking into, I guess, how long does it take for you to like truly change your population's like ideology.
A generation, probably.
They said it takes about 20 years, like through the school systems and everything. That's in 20 years' time, like from what you were, I guess, advocating will be changed.
Why do you reckon it's taking so long for racism to steer out? Because I feel like we're all educated to know racism's horrible.
But there's obviously still people like older than us, and also in America, I think more traditionally conservatives are more racist.
So
Would I be right?
so capital punishment for the racists, and then the next generation, racism won't exist.
No, well, you just
Cull all the racists, basically.
no, you just educate as much as you can. And
Yes, but there's people you just can't fucking change their
I know,
opinions.
but that's the thing that
So
somebody
kill 'em.
said it. I can't remember some philosopher, and he's like, when they were talking about democracy or like who gets the power, and they're like, don't give it to the average person because they're that fucking dumb. It's not
Yeah.
worth it.
Like it's
Mate, a literal average person is the fucking president of the United States of
I was
America.
about to say
Oh,
that. Yeah.
actually, on that tweet, what
Less
was-
than average, I would say.
on the tweet that Hunter was reading, the president called like these rioters thugs. Yeah.
yes.
He also tweeted during the coronavirus. Did anyone mention this? Or
Nah,
I don't know.
nah, we
Okay,
didn't.
cool.
What, the fucking disinfectant?
No, when like people were protesting coronavirus, and they said, he said the people, but for this case he said the thugs, but they were both doing illegal things,
yeah.
Yeah.
and they were all
And
white
did
people.
you see the peaceful? I don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
that's
it was.
true,
It did end
actually.
up being peaceful protest for the coronavirus, but people literally brought rocket launchers.
Fucking hell.
That's actually sick.
I got sent a photo of some dude like getting lunch at one of these protests, and he has a rocket launcher in Subway.
Cunts just rocket riding and shit everywhere.
Tactical nuke
I don't know,
incoming.
I guess that's a topic for another day, whether we just tread on it lightly. But yeah, the whole gun situation in America is just so weird and profound. Or not
Yeah, it's
profound.
weird. It's
I
weird to
agree and I
us, but
disagree for some.
What do you mean in disagree wise?
I disagree that it should be so readily available, but I agree with like the defense agenda of it.
Do you need an M4 fully automatic for protection?
Nah, you
Just
just need
look
like
at
a little.
Australia.
Australia.
true.
We have our issues, yes. but
No,
still,
Australian defense is fucking terrible. Like, isn't it like if someone walks in your house and you kill them?
Yeah, you go to
yeah, you
jail.
go to
That's
jail.
Yeah, no,
fucking
no,
murder.
bullshit.
but that's not what we're talking about.
That is
though.
seriously bullshit. I thought.
That's-
Yeah, we're talking about the justice system.
No, but we're talking about specifically that.
But you're
the-
talking about
the-
gun
the
violence.
gun.
I'm just
No, but I agree with you. It's
Like-
pretty fucked.
like if someone comes into your house with like a knife and is threatening to kill your family and you kill them, you go to jail. That's fucking dumb.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Like
stupid.
seriously.
So, there was a news story about it. It was just like the saddest thing, like because they were interviewing like his family that was still at home, who he saved their lives
yeah,
to
right.
fucking to keep this guy out because he was gonna fucking kill him and take all their shit, and then he just gets like 20 years or something. It was.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that's justifiable.
It's weird. I don't know.
If in Australia, from what I've seen, and even especially in America, if the justice system wants you, they're gonna get you. And there's not you can pay for the best lawyer.
Yeah, but
there's
why
just
would they?
nothing
Why
you
would
can
they
do
want
about
you?
it. Hmm?
Why would they want you though?
For
What's in it for them?
For their statistics, for their numbers, for their conviction rate, for their
They probably
for
get
their-
a
for their
fucking
pride,
fluoride
For them to
doing
push
it.
an
Yeah,
image
probably.
forward that look at us, we're tackling down criminals.
we're-
How good are we? You know?
yeah.
It's literally a scapegoat thing.
Well, I wanted to talk about because obviously we have the African Americans being like oppressed heavily in America, but how do you guys feel about the Aboriginal kind of situation in Australia?
Indigenous, it's terrible. And
Yeah.
even our politicians, like someone who was going to be our prime minister, Peter Dutton.
Yeah.
Have you heard about what he did to the two Indigenous children when he was a policeman in
No.
the NT or Queensland? So he basically took these two Indigenous children that were just walking around their community, and he drove them up to the middle of nowhere, let them out, and drove off.
What?
Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
this is real. This has been documented. Peter Dutton. Search it up if you like.
That's fucked.
See,
And-
that's the. Oh, I was just gonna say because that's the thing. We Australians, kind of oversleep on this whole Aboriginal situation in comparison to America. We know everything about it.
Yeah.
It's just so sad. Like, do you guys believe in the whole Australia Day? I guess like the date.
Invasion Day.
No,
Yeah,
I think
like
it's
Invasion
great
Day.
to have a date of national pride.
No, but you
Yeah,
can have a
but
day,
it-
but
it
don't
shouldn't
don't
say-
put it
be
on
that
don't put it
day.
on the day. Yeah, I'm for change the date.
Yeah.
Fuck national pride. Fucking
Or that's what I was going to
Shit.
touch on. I reckon patriotism, national pride, and all that. I feel like those are the biggest reasons why we have racism because people identify so clearly with that.
That's true.
Literally, and it comes from history. Like
Yeah,
like it's difficult for me to think about that the stolen generation was less than 100 years ago.
yeah,
When it
Yeah,
finished,
it's actually
up
nuts,
in the 60s. Indigenous people in Australia weren't counted on census until
They
the
were
60s.
counted as
They're counted as
fauna.
plants
Yeah,
They're-
nah,
that's
fauna,
fucked.
which is like the
and
name for
animals
but-
and plants.
That's
But-
actually fucked.
They weren't allowed to vote until the 80s, I'm pretty sure, as well.
Yeah, it's true.
We've been putting down these people that our ancestors. We're not all fully Australian here, but like
yeah.
have stolen from, have just abused in every sense of the word
Yeah.
up until now.
So that's the thing. There's racists everywhere. Even the races that get oppressed, they still can be very racist themselves. Yeah. But that's the thing. Until we get rid of those, national pride and patriotism, I feel like we won't be able to move much more forward.
It took until 2008 for the government to even acknowledge the stolen generation as well, might I add.
Yeah. Isn't that? Yeah, that's under Rudd. Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin 07.
Yeah.
Um,
But hopefully, is it Floyd? Sorry.
George Floyd, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully that kind of sparks. Not only more movements in America, but something down here because we definitely needed it.
yeah,
Yeah.
last year an Indigenous woman died in police custody.
It's horrible.
Not like an outright murder.
Yeah,
like
but you
this
don't
one,
hear
but
about that much here.
Yeah, there's plenty.
And I
of
feel
things
like
here.
like 80 like not a lot of the indigenous communities' living conditions now are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't even hear about that.
Well,
or
their
know about that,
suicide
to be
rates
honest.
are like obviously men statistically are higher in
drug
in
rate,
general,
alcohol rate,
but like
everything.
Aboriginal men, some of their suicide rates are like just are just profound. Not profound. What's it called?
Fuck.
Disgusting. I
yeah,
guess.
it's
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah, I couldn't find a word.
So, this is something I wanted to bring up. If we were to write about something in Australia, what do you think it would be?
What do you mean right about?
What do you mean?
Riot, riot.
Oh, riot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like a violent one.
Yeah, like one that's like the same as what's going on in America right now. Like,
If pubs were never going to reopen.
mate, Daniel Andrews would be fucking leading the charge.
Yeah.
He'd be out there fucking.
I think if it's not a race issue, I definitely feel like the next one would be maybe even climate change. Even though at this point in time it's not that bad, but I reckon that.
it's not a bad one.
I mean, yeah, because we're probably one of the countries that would be affected most by climate change. You would think, being in the temperate zone that we are, and being such a big country.
Yeah.
I'm pretty optimistic about climate change or ignorant, one or the other, but I feel like the brains of the world are going to figure some shit out.
They have figured it out. It's just the leaders in Australia don't want to listen.
Yeah.
Because the mining companies own the Liberals.
Yeah, 100%.
How do you address that, Oliver Matthews? A
Yeah,
question-
cunt.
A question to ask that fucking libtard on the next podcast. Hunter
Yeah,
hitting
fuck.
him with the fucking hard-hitting facts out here.
Well, since you brought that question up, what's your answer?
I don't know.
Yeah. Real talk.
Yeah. I didn't think that hard about it. I don't know. We'd probably riot for
Free haircuts?
I could do with those.
Yeah. All right, I'd write for that.
No, I definitely think it's going to be race than climate change. I don't reckon. I don't reckon there's anything else that's, I guess,
I don't know.
justifiable.
From what I'm reading on Facebook, fucking Australian boomers would riot over
5G.
5G towers.
Yeah.
Absolute.
I can
fucking
imagine that would be
boomers.
the funniest thing.
There's
Actually,
people already burning them down, not just in Australia, but in the UK as well.
it's so
Legit.
weird.
So there isn't just retarded people in Australia.
There's gonna be
and
a
widespread.
there's gonna be a
Yeah.
boomer revolution when they roll out 5G and everyone actually realizes mind controlling us, and then they become the fucking superior race.
That's so good.
Oh, it's gonna be Gen Z versus the boomers.
Yeah,
because
what's the
I want 1,600 down.
Oh,
Bro, what's the boomers fucking like? Just control us. They'll be our new leaders because we're just like getting 5G.
What do you
radiation.
mean? The
boomer
boomers
Führer.
already are our leaders.
Nah, fuck off. They are.
They own all the they own all the land. We're
Yeah.
not gonna be able to purchase a house.
Yeah, fuck.
Sad reality.
Yeah, that's
Sad but
fucked.
true reality.
That's kind of
Unless
what-
the market crashes, which I'm hoping for.
Yeah, that's why people hoped for more of a boomer decline during this crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Boomer remover.
so
So we just got to box the market down and we're good. Actually, yeah.
There we go. There's justifiable reason for capital punishment.
boomer.
Boomer removal.
But
You are proven guilty of boomer.
of making my house expensive.
How about that fucking a current affair
A
poll?
current a pair.
yeah.
A current and a pear.
A current and a pair.
All the ingredients to a healthy fruit salad. But no, a current affairs poll on Facebook. Are you concerned about the rollout of 5G internet? 44% say yes. And then all
When
the,
I did it was 56.
Bro, think
Yeah.
about the
Damn.
demographic of people who watch a current affair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oldies.
but that's what I'm
yeah,
getting
if-
at.
if
The
you-
fucking
if you
comments,
watch-
bro.
If you watch free TV,
Yeah.
you're already brainwashed.
Yeah.
And feel free to fight me if you think otherwise.
I like the voice.
I am keen for Big Brother. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, fucking
fuck
Big Brother's
off.
mad. Bro.
yeah.
I hate
But
all
All
anyway,
those shows are sick.
anyway, the fucking comments on this current affair poll, like this one from the most boomer name ever. Her name's Nolene Mary
Oh my god.
Cooling Rowlands.
Oh no.
As a matter of interest, I was in a Telstra store pre-COVID-19, and a guy, probably age 30ish, came to the counter beside me. He wanted to return a mobile phone he had bought because he found out that even though it used a 4G network, it was capable of receiving calls from a 5G phone. He was serious.
My God.
Fucking boomer, bro.
Yeah.
That's funny. That is
Bit off
funny.
track.
And
there.
this one from fucking Joanne Giusti.
Joanne.
Health dangers aside, and yes, many tests have been done across the world to
I saw
prove
that
5G is very dangerous, especially when quote unquote cranked up. I detest I detest the fact that 5G is intended to support full-time surveillance of people and therefore put an end to basic civil freedom. It's shameful that a government will allow this. Shameful and scary. If people download these facts for faster download, then that's even more shameful and scary. Like, it's just fucking lunacy, bro. Everywhere.
Yeah. Murdoch will tell these boomers anything and they'll get on it. They'll believe it.
5G conspiracists, fucking racists, all in the fucking ringer. They're
Rupert
all the same
Murdoch,
people.
if one of your agents are listening, I'd love you to guest on this podcast.
Yeah, Rupert
I have
Murdoch.
I have some questions.
We have some questions for your ass. I don't even know who Rupert Murdoch is.
Really?
No?
He owns like 70% of Australians like popular media. He owns
Oh,
Channel
shit.
7, Channel 9, the Australian.
Not my
yeah.
media.
Yeah,
The Zuck
hashtag,
owns my
hashtag
media.
not my media.
But
But
Zuckerberg.
yeah, all those TV channels, the Australian, the Herald Sun. Yep, he a lot of stuff. What I don't personally read, but you guys, I don't know, any listeners might read. Yeah, it's his message, his agenda.
Yeah,
Um,
fuck.
So just make sure to fact check. Be an intellectual.
Be an intellectual. Don't be a racist. Because racists are pigs.
Well, I was going to ask if the situation arises for an Australian protest about the Indigenous were to come, would you all participate?
A protest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd do it.
Yes,
I
sir.
I disagree with protests.
Even peaceful.
Even peaceful.
I just don't think there's enough proof in Australia that they actually have a fucking good enough effect
What's a better way for to bring about change?
Violent protest.
to vote people into power that are actually going to do positive things for
That
change.
that is the
But
best way.
Yes, but the demographic right now is you either vote Labor or Liberal.
But
and-
that's stupid.
and-
That we just need to throw out that old way of thinking. If you ask me, like,
yeah, and
Well,
that's
when-
we got to change the
when-
entire system. Which
when
is,
I-
that's what I tell people every voting period. But it seems to still be Labor and Liberal that are getting in.
Yeah,
Cool,
Oliver
yeah.
Matthews, you fucking liberal cunt.
when I voted, you boys got angry at me for this, but I
Yeah,
literally
because
I
it's
voted
fucking stupid.
I voted one, shooters, farmers, and fishers.
Yep.
And then I just wrote cocks on the rest of the sheets.
Yeah, which makes it a
fucking
donkey vote.
idiot.
It doesn't count anyway.
Oh what?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
So next time, just make sure to fill it out. And anyone who's
sucks.
listening, please fill out your voting forms properly.
very important.
Big advocate.
Don't be like Josh, because
Don't be a non-intellectual.
Yes.
every vote counts, and we don't want the liberals in the party.
We don't want Liberal
power.
or Labor. Obviously,
We want the
personally, I think Labor is the lesser of two evils. But if
Yeah.
both evil.
we
Fucking
need
hell.
more independence.
We're gonna make Oliver Matthews walk off this podcast the way we're going. He's gonna protest against the pro fucking. Actually, not. We're not pro anything, are we? We're just against the liberals. He's gonna protest against us hating the liberals.
Who are your favorite Australian politicians currently?
Kevin Rudd.
Julia Gillard.
Yeah, no, Julia
Julia
Gillard was
Gillard's a
great.
good
She
Is she
got
actually?
yeah,
That's
she
how
got-
far out.
she got so many laws passed, even part of a minority government.
Really?
Yeah, you guys know how the Houses of Parliament work?
Fucking no idea.
A little bit.
Yeah, so basically in the House of Reps, so Australia works on a bicameral system. House of Reps is the lower house, Senate's the higher house. In the House of Reps, 150 seats. Whoever has majority in the House of Reps is the government of the day.
Yeah. Okay.
Quick recap. So
Inspired by America to add.
sorry,
Fun fact: it was inspired by America. I'm pretty sure.
inspired by the UK.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Dumb cunt.
But
Oh well, they're a monarchy though. But don't worry. I'm just uneducated.
it's okay. Yeah. So basically, whoever has the majority of the House of Reps, whoever has more than 76 seats out of 150, is the government of the day.
Yeah.
When Julia Gillard was in power, because she backstabbed Kevin Rudd,
Chad move.
she had a minority government because the independents left her side, but she was still in power. To get laws passed. Do you want me to continue? I feel like I'm just going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
of-
Well, here's my thing with Julia Gillard, because I said it as a joke. Because my earliest memory of her is literally her believing that the world was going to end.
What? Oh, because of like the whole 2012.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
literally, that's my only memory. That's why I thought it's like a bit of a meme. So-
No, yeah, no,
She's-
great
she's
politician.
pretty cool.
But
What
yeah,
about-
that's what's going to happen.
Oh,
for
and she was a
racism.
woman too.
what is that meant to mean?
That was like a breakthrough thing,
Oh
wasn't it?
yeah, first female prime minister.
Yeah,
in
she's
Australia's
Great.
history.
Yeah.
Yes,
So yeah,
fantastic. I mean,
which
it wouldn't-
fucking
it
about
wouldn't have
time
happened-
again.
unfortunately, it probably wouldn't have happened through the actual voting system. but we've made it.
Got there in the end.
Jacinta Ardern, New Zealand's prime minister, is doing a fantastic job.
Yeah,
She's
I've
one
heard
of the
good,
one of the
yeah.
better world leaders right now, up there with my boy Trudeau,
And
Is
Kim
he
Jong-un.
Canadian?
Canadian prime minister Justin Trudeau. Love him.
Is Kim Jong Un dead?
No,
No.
that was I
Oh.
think a ruse, or like something fake actually.
Okay.
He wanted to. I don't know. I heard many stories, but that's for a different
That's
episode.
that's a conspiracy. That one.
Literally, it is. But no, Jacinta's doing really awesome.
Yeah.
Do you remember how I think it was recently she was doing like a meeting and she was like I don't know on live television and there was an earthquake and she just like handles it like a fucking boss.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they have him every day.
yeah.
Yeah. On that tectonic plate line.
Before you
Yeah.
ruined it.
So Nino, who's your favorite world politician right now, or Australian?
Rupert Murdoch.
He's not,
He's
a,
not a
politician,
politician, you
but-
fucking
but
not
hey.
intellectual.
I don't know. Fucking.
Surely Dan
I
Andrews.
literally don't know
Dan Andrews
politicians.
is great
Rick.
Yeah.
Rick, maybe.
from Rick and Morty.
Yeah, from Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
He's my politician.
What about you? What about you, Josh? Who's your favorite politician in Australia?
Unless you're not sure.
Can we get Pauline Hanson as a guest?
I like.
Oh, she'll come with a helicopter down here.
Oh yeah.
Chat.
she'd come wearing a fucking turban too.
Fuck that
the
bitch.
burqa.
Yeah.
I like. What's her name? Christine Cousins.
I don't know who that is.
She's
Yeah.
a
I think
Geelong
he's
rep.
just talking shit.
Oh.
No, she's a Geelong rep.
Oh.
But she do be kind of thick though, so
Oh
I
my
like
God.
her.
beating out Dan
This
Cheeseman.
fucking man.
Well, what about
Thinks
yourself,
about-
Hunter?
Currently, I was a real big fan of Di Natale until he stepped down.
That's a soccer
what
player,
side
isn't
was
it?
he on?
Greens,
Di Natale.
Okay.
leader of the Green. Maybe.
I think he was a soccer player.
Yeah, he had a great speech about government incompetence, but where it is behind closed doors, the Greens are not any different from any other political party.
I don't doubt. I honestly don't doubt that.
Yeah,
Like they have been getting just votes from the start simply because they're fucking
different.
they're the Greens. They go under this banner of being fucking
Green.
pro nature, but yeah, they go under the banner of being green. But they're probably I genuinely don't believe that they'd do any better than Labor or Liberal.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
maybe their policies would they would pass maybe a few bills, but I definitely don't think they'd deliver all they fucking promised in terms of like reversing climate change and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, that, as you were saying, to make change in Australia to get us away from the Labor and Liberal, currently that's our next best bet.
I
Well,
think they'd be
Greens-
better.
The Greens.
I think they'd be better, but I just don't think it'd be a solution.
I need to educate myself more in the Australian politics.
I'm terrible. I literally know
Yeah.
nothing,
Same.
which isn't good. but-
Obviously, I research more around voting time because I like to see what policies people have. But
yeah.
yeah, during the regular year, unless something newsworthy happens, it's not with it.
But yeah, at least we can conclude that really we need to change our everything. The government system has to change, policing and everything, just to fix. None of these issues will be ever changed or fixed truly until those things are fixed.
Education's probably the biggest one.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah. But
What baffles me is America, like specifically, the amount of amount of money they put into the military. Yeah,
yeah.
it's fucked. Like,
Do you know that's why North Korea is poor?
oh, I
Because
imagine
like 90% of their economy goes into military.
yeah,
it's fucked because you can't progress at all, and that could be going to education. But they care. That's where the patriotism comes from. If I don't know, it's
yeah, we got to defend our country. We got to be the strongest.
Yeah,
military
Who's got
system in
the
world.
most nukes? The
I'm-
nuke war.
I'm not
Yeah.
patriotic like that. I'm just patriotic in terms of like fucking sport.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
but
a different story.
That like even if it wasn't from a town or whatever or a country, whatever sport you're talking about,
Yeah.
it's still like even if it was just tigers or something like that. You know,
Are you talking about the animal?
no, the team.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought we were getting back into Tiger King.
yeah,
episode.
same.
uh,
Patriotic about tigers.
But anyway,
Unfortunately, if
Yeah.
you are patriotic about one part of Australian culture, then you're gonna get grouped with the rest of it, good
Yeah.
or bad. It just is that way, unfortunately.
Unless you have a fucking Australian flag tattoo on your back, then you're not really a patriot. You're just like you
Yeah.
just enjoy Australian culture.
Yeah, true.
What is Australian culture, though?
It's multicultural. That's the thing.
Yeah,
It's-
we actually
it's-
don't have a
Yeah.
like a big thing like.
Unless you just go fucking barbecues, durries,
Well,
and beers.
Yeah,
lots
pretty
of,
much
lots
is
of
that.
people.
Yeah.
Lots of people from other countries I talk to, they're like, "What's like a national Australian meal?" There isn't one.
Sausages,
Very
bunning
bread.
snags.
bunning snag, but it's like other like
Very
actually.
That's actually true.
But
Tim
actually
Tam.
sit down
Yeah,
at
yeah.
dinner other than classic meat and three veg.
Then
like,
they
what's
then
a-
they go,
yeah.
what about the Australian dessert? And you say Lamingtons, but Lamingtons aren't even from Australia.
yeah,
From
Here's
New
my
Zealand.
thing as well, though.
it's kind of like how sushi is not from Japan.
What?
It was a
Conspiracy.
It's Italian.
it's a way of preserving fish originated in China, and Japan kind of
yeah.
just like modernized it and made it yummy.
Yeah.
Anyway, are we we moving on? Are we concluding this?
Yeah,
this
well,
conversation?
we, ladies
Say-
and
say-
gentlemen,
say the line, Dino.
Say the line. Say the line.
we're almost at the hour mark.
Hey.
But I do have some questions.
Okay, we have
Oh,
a few
cool.
questions before we wrap up.
One question actually from a friend of the podcast.
Friend of the
Thanks,
podcast.
I know I have a question too after, but yeah, go.
We'll do.
mate. Hugh M. So he's giving us-
Hello, Hugh Hefner.
Hello, you.
He goes, kill, fuck, marry, Pamela Anderson, Madison Beer, and Elon Musk, because all you boys simp for Elon.
You
I've
go
got an
first,
easy
For
order.
Elon. Our next episode is going to be a lot of simping for Elon. I tell you.
Oh
what.
yeah,
I love the man.
I would marry Madison Beer. She's
Who
fucking
is
amazing.
Madison Beer? by
She's
the way?
fucking
She's,
sexy.
She's a singer. I think she got what's it called, discovered by Justin Bieber back in the day.
Yeah.
Is that right? Today?
Yeah.
What, just like Carly Rae Jepsen.
See, I don't know what.
Yeah,
happened with
pretty
her.
much.
Another
Yeah.
Canadian
But
treasure.
but Madison's actually like, actually made it. Unlike
Yeah,
Carly
like
Rae
she's
Jepsen.
good as well. But she's extremely attractive.
Sexy
So
as fuck.
marry, obviously fuck Elon, and then kill Pamela.
I love how he says, obviously, fuck Elon. Go, Josh.
I'd fuck Madison.
Okay.
I'd also kill Pamela, and I'd
Bro,
I-
have you
I'd
seen
marry,
Bo- have
I'd
you seen
marry
Borat?
Elon for
I
his,
agree.
Have you
for
seen
his
Borat?
assets.
True.
I'm gonna fucking gold dig Elon
Simp,
for all
you're,
he's
a
worth.
fucking, you're an imp. You're an imp. You're an Elon sympathizer.
He's a mimp. a
Yeah, I'm
mouse.
the same. I'd probably marry Madison, fuck Elon, and kill Pamela.
Pamela Anderson is copying
She's getting
it.
a bad rap.
All right, Hunter, come on.
She's like a Borat.
Just to hold up the reputation of my boy Borat, I'd marry Pamela,
Ooh.
Hey.
fuck Elon, and kill Madison.
Oh no,
No,
Maddie!
you
No,
can't. You
you'll
can't
take
do
that back. We'll show him a picture after the podcast. All right, what's your question, Hunter?
Thanks for
Okay.
the question, Huey. Appreciate it, mate.
Cheers, Huey.
Yeah, thanks you. All right, probably to finish off the podcast here, if you were made Prime Minister of Australia and could pass any bill, what would it be? You only get one.
Who's this question coming from?
Me.
Oh, okay. Thanks for writing in, Hunter.
Thanks.
The
No
bill
problem.
that has all the world issues. Boom, cheat.
Nice.
Shut up, Rob. Can we get an actual
Um,
answer?
I'll think about it. Hold
Okay.
on, Danilo, go. Or Josh.
Josh.
Whoever.
In the intermission, while we all think of our answers, would you like me to sing a song?
No. I don't
No.
know. Well, what would you say, Hunter? Because I'm really lost. Because there's so many things that I'm personally passionate about, but
What-
I wouldn't know what
Yeah,
I want
what's
to pass.
one thing you're passionate about?
What was the question again?
If you're Prime Minister and could pass any one bill, what would you pass?
I'd probably pass something in regards to climate change.
Yeah, I was gonna say that as well.
Yeah, because obviously we can. I don't know. At least Australian laws, from what I know, in terms of race and sex issues, it's like we've got laws to kind of like, I guess, to persecute them. Am I right? Like hate crime stuff and what's it called? You know, the equal pay does exist. That type of shit.
Yeah.
It's not a myth.
So it's like, so there's already solutions there, but there's nothing with climate change, which doesn't affect one group, it affects everyone.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Josh?
Josh is
f-
daft.
Free lap dances.
Free lap dances.
All right, we'll take
Ozzy's
that.
a fucking
I'd
horny fuck.
I'd pass a bill to disband the Liberal Party because they're fucking idiots.
Nice, very nice.
Boom.
So I want to wrap the podcast up with a nice sentiment. I'd just like to say, it's not white versus black. It's everybody versus racists. Thanks for listening, guys.
So good.
So yeah, rest in peace, our fellow human.
Yeah, legit. That's fucking sad.
Yeah, it was very sickening and disheartening. So we'd just like to pass on. I know they're probably not listening, but
Condolences to
pass
the
on our
family, yeah.
condolences to the family and everyone affected.
And I hope
To his
I hope
child.
this episode was sort of like, I hope we weren't we
Too
were sensitive
insensitive.
enough. I
Yeah.
hope we were sensitive enough because we do take it seriously. Obviously, which we have a laugh and whatnot, but yeah, it's a fuck topic. It's really sad what happened, but yeah, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good one. Have a good